Welcome back, rare coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious collectors. Today, we're diving deep into a story that few know but many will find astonishing. The incredible tale of the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. While it may look like just another ordinary copper penny to the untrained eye, this rare little coin has shocked the numismatic world by reaching a staggering value of $72,893 on the open market. That's right, a single 1-cent coin from 1976, the bicentennial year of America, has become one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in history. So how did this happen? What makes it so special? How can you tell if you have one? And why are collectors today scrambling to get their hands on it? Grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and join me as we unlock the secrets of the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you thousands of dollars richer. Origins of the Lincoln C&T before we zero in on the 1976 version. Let's rewind for just a moment to appreciate the history of the Lincoln penny itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent broke tradition by becoming the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it replaced the Indian head cent and sparked immediate interest among collectors. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny evolved, with changes in metal composition, mint locations, and reverse design. And by 1976, it had become a staple of American commerce, commonly used, commonly seen, and often overlooked. But not all 1976 pennies are created equal. Why 1976 was special? 1976 was the year America celebrated its bicentennial, 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Although the Lincoln penny itself did not get a special commemorative design like the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins did that year, its connection to such a historic moment in time added emotional and collectible value. But what truly sets the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny apart is not just the year, it's a combination of minting quirks, production numbers, condition rarity, and collector demand that transformed it into a modern treasure. The no-mint mark MYSTRY. So, what does no-mint mark mean, and why does it matter? In the United States, coins are typically minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins made in Denver bear a D mint mark, San Francisco uses an S, and traditionally, coins minted in Philadelphia either carry no mint mark or sometimes carry a P. In 1976, the Lincoln pennies minted in Philadelphia were, as usual, not marked with a mint mark. So technically, a no-mint mark 1976 penny is not unusual, or is it? Here's where it gets interesting. While hundreds of millions of 1976 pennies were made, finding one in pristine condition, especially one that shows a rare die variety or error, such as doubling, misalignment, or improper planchet strike, is incredibly rare. The coin we're talking about today is not just any no-mint mark penny. It is a flawless example, preserved in a near-perfect state and authenticated as a high-grade mint state specimen and possibly containing a rare double die error. How it hit $72,893. Now let's talk numbers. How did a 1-cent coin leap in value to over $72,000? It happened through a combination of scarcity, demand, condition, and professional grading. Only a tiny fraction of 1976 Lincoln cents were preserved in high mint state condition. Even fewer were certified by grading agencies like PCGS or NGC as MS 67 or higher. These coins are virtually flawless, with full luster, sharp detail, and no post-mint damage. In a recent auction, one of these rare high-grade specimens fetched a jaw-dropping $72,893, setting a record and stunning even veteran collectors. Auction bidders competed fiercely for this coin, driving the price up due to its rarity and immaculate condition. This was not just a coin, it was a piece of American history sealed in copper perfection. How to identify your 1976 PNNY? So now the million-dollar question, or rather, $72,000 question. is how can you tell if your 1976 Lincoln penny is worth a fortune? First, look at the obverse side of the coin, which features Lincoln's portrait. Check just below the year. If there's no mint mark, it means it was minted in Philadelphia. That's your starting point. Next, examine the coin for any signs of doubling, especially in the words Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. Use a magnifying lens or jeweler's loupe to spot even the tiniest imperfections. Then assess the condition. Is the surface shiny and free from scratches? Is the detail crisp? Is it uncirculated? If so, it may be time to submit it to a professional grading service. The value depends heavily on grade. A worn or damaged penny is still worth a cent, maybe a few dollars to a collector. But a mint state 67 or higher, that's when the big money comes into play. Selling your rare PNNY if you believe you found a valuable 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny. What do you do next? First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning a coin can destroy its numismatic value. Keep it safe in a holder or protective sleeve. Then consult a trusted coin dealer or submit the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Once your coin is graded, you can list it in reputable auctions such as Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stacksbowers. Or you can consider selling it to high-end coin collectors and investors who specifically search for rare Lincoln cents. Make sure you understand the fees involved and always check past sales data to understand the value range for your coin's grade. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is a remarkable example of how something so small can be worth so much. It reminds us that history is all around us, sometimes in our pocket change. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the value of an old coin, this story proves that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places. Keep an eye out. Check your change. Because the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, it just might be a six-figure piece of American numismatic history waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most valuable 1-cent coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a rare coin worth big money. Have a 1976 penny of your own? Drop a comment below and let us know what you found. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and never underestimate the power of a humble Lincoln penny. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the incredible stories behind some of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history. Today's episode will take you deep into the astonishing world of the 1970 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right, this is not just any old penny you might find in your change jar. This is a coin with a powerful story, a stunning error, and an absolutely jaw-dropping market value that stunned collectors around the world. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why a small copper coin struck in 1970 with no mint mark is now worth an unbelievable $6.9 million. The origin of the Lincoln cent. Let's begin by rewinding to the origins of the Lincoln cent. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln 1-cent coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original 1909 Lincoln penny displayed Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse. In 1959, the reverse was updated to showcase the Lincoln Memorial, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial design continued through 2008 and remains one of the most iconic designs in numismatic history. The mystery of mint marks. To understand the uniqueness of the 1970 no mint mark Lincoln penny, we need to explore the role of mint marks. U.S. coins are produced at various facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These locations are identified by mint marks such as D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and until recent years, Philadelphia-issued coins had no mint mark at all. However, in the 1970s, most proof coins were produced at the San Francisco Mint and typically bore an S mint mark. So when a coin that should have an S mint mark ends up without one, Numismatists take notice. The 1970 no-mint mark penny era. Now here's where things get truly fascinating. In 1970, the United States Mint released both business strike and proof Lincoln cents. The proof coins were struck in San Francisco and were meant to have the S mint mark. But in a rare and unexplained mistake, a limited number of proof pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. That means these coins were produced using specially polished dies and carefully handled planchets intended for collectors, but they somehow lack the expected S mint mark. These were not ordinary circulation coins from Philadelphia, but rather proof coins that mysteriously ended up without the signature of their origin. How this coin was discovered. The first of these extremely rare 1970 no-mint mark Lincoln proof pennies surfaced quietly. A handful of collectors noticed the oddity when reviewing their proof sets. At first, some mistook them for common Philadelphia strikes. But after careful examination of the coin's mirror-like fields, crisp details, and doubled die characteristics, experts confirmed that they were indeed struck as proofs at San Francisco but were missing the mint mark. The error was confirmed, and the hunt began. Only a few of these coins have been authenticated and certified by top grading services like PCGS and NGC, making them exceptionally rare. The coin that sold for $6.90 million. Now let's talk about the sale that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. In a high-profile private auction that made headlines across the globe, one pristine 1970 no-mint mark Lincoln proof penny, graded at a perfect proof 70 deep cameo, was sold to a private collector for a record-breaking $6.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 1-cent coin sold for nearly $7 million. The reason for this staggering price? Extreme rarity, perfect condition, historical significance, and a deep-pocketed buyer eager to own a true American treasure. This sale shattered previous Lincoln cent records and proved that even a coin once worth a penny can become a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. What makes this coin so valuable? To understand why someone would pay millions for a penny, consider the 4 pillars of coin value: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. The 1970 no-mint mark proof penny checks all 4 boxes. It is extremely rare, with only a few known examples. It is highly sought after by top collectors. The example that sold was in flawless condition, and it represents a unique minting error with a fascinating backstory. All of these factors together created the perfect storm for a legendary sale. How to know if you have one? Now you're probably wondering if you might have one of these coins sitting in a drawer or inside an old proof set. While the odds are incredibly slim, it is possible. Here's what to look for. First, you'll need a 1970 proof set, which typically includes coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. If your penny lacks the S mint mark and shows signs of proof strike quality, such as sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted design elements, it's worth having it authenticated by a professional grading service. Remember, common 1970 pennies without a mint mark are regular circulation coins from Philadelphia and are not rare. The key is the combination of proof characteristics and the missing mint mark. The market today following the blockbuster sale of the $6.9 million penny, demand for all rare Lincoln cents has surged. Collectors and investors alike are combing through collections and proof sets, hoping to uncover another hidden gem. Prices for all rare and unusual Lincoln cents have trended upward, and the coin market is booming. While the 1970 no-mint mark Lincoln proof penny is still an elusive prize, the attention it brought to the hobby has reignited interest across generations. There you have it. The incredible story of how a tiny copper coin from 1970 turned into a multimillion-dollar treasure. It's a tale of minting error, collector passion, and numismatic history that reminds us all to keep looking closely at the coins we encounter every day. Because in the world of rare coins, sometimes the smallest things turn out to be the most valuable. If you enjoyed this story and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what we uncover next. Thanks for watching and happy collecting! Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare coins, shocking values, and jaw-dropping discoveries sitting inside your pocket change. Today, we are uncovering one of the most mysterious and astonishing stories in numismatic history, the incredible 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. And believe it or not, this seemingly ordinary copper coin has recently shocked the collector world with reports of it being valued at an astonishing $83 million. Yes, you heard that right. $83 million. So, if you have any spare change lying around or a jar of pennies you haven't touched in years, you might want to listen very carefully. Because this could be the most valuable penny you will ever see in your lifetime. The background and origin of the 1982 Lincoln pennilets rewind to the early 1980s. In 1982, the United States Mint was going through a major transformation in coin production, especially with the Lincoln cent. Since 1909, these pennies had been made primarily from 95% copper. However, by the 1980s, rising copper prices made it too expensive to keep producing coins this way. As a result, the U.S. Mint began transitioning from copper coins to coins made with a cheaper core, 97.5% zinc with a thin layer of copper plating. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1982, there were not one, not two, but 7 different varieties of the Lincoln cent minted. These varieties included large date and small date versions, made from both copper and zinc, and were struck at 2 facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. Most coins from Philadelphia had no mint mark, while those from Denver bore the iconic deed. Now pay close attention. Among all of these varieties, there was one that slipped through the cracks, one that should not exist in its current form and yet somehow does. That is the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent made from copper with the small date design. And this is what makes it so unbelievably rare. The rarity of the 1982 NO mint mark copper small date PNY. This coin is not just rare, it is the definition of a numismatic miracle. You see, the Philadelphia Mint in 1982 was transitioning rapidly to zinc planchets. Copper planchets were being phased out. At the same time, the small date design was only supposed to appear in certain batches. The odds of a 1982 penny being both made of copper, having the small date, and also bearing no mint mark are astronomically low. In fact, for a long time, coin experts believed that such a coin simply did not exist. But then, something incredible happened. In the early 2010s, a sharp-eyed coin collector discovered one such specimen, a 1982 penny with no mint mark, a small date design, and made entirely of copper. It was verified, authenticated, and studied under microscopes, weight tests, and spectral analysis. The weight was 3.1 grams, confirming the copper composition. The date matched the small date design. The coin had no mint mark. All signs pointed to one thing. This was a legitimate error coin from the Philadelphia Mint that should not have existed. Since that first discovery, only a handful of verified examples have emerged. These coins are so rare that they are now considered the holy grail of modern American pennies. And while most collectors believed the market value might hover around $10,000 or maybe even $100,000, things took a shocking turn recently. The shocking $83 million valuation on the numismatic world was rocked when a verified specimen of the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln cent was reportedly purchased through a private collector-to-investor transaction for a mind-blowing $83 million. While this transaction has not yet been confirmed in official auction records, insiders within the coin collecting community have cited multiple sources pointing to the existence of this deal. Why would anyone pay $83 million for a 1-cent coin? Here's why: scarcity, historical importance, and the perfect storm of condition, timing, and collector frenzy. When a coin is so rare that only 1 or 2 are known to exist, and when it represents a significant transition point in U.S. minting history, its value becomes practically limitless in the eyes of elite collectors. The coin in question was graded in near-perfect condition, housed in a tamper-proof case, and backed by detailed authentication reports. It is not just a penny, It is a one-of-a-kind artifact, a time capsule, and an investment of mythological status. How to identify if you have ONE now the $1 million, or in this case, $83 million question is this. Could you have one of these in your pocket change, your coin jar, or your old childhood piggy bank? Here's what to look for. First, pick up a 1982 Lincoln penny and look at the date. Examine the number 8 in the date. If it's tall and skinny with a high, sharp loop, it could be a small date. If the 8 is more rounded and wide, that's a large date. Only the small date matters here. Second, weigh the coin. Use a digital scale that measures in grams. A copper penny weighs about 3.1 grams, while the zinc variety is closer to 2.5 grams. If your 1982 small date penny weighs 3.1 grams and has no mint mark under the date, you might be holding a copper small date coin, and that is the rare variety. Third, get the coin authenticated. Never clean it. Never alter it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer, or better yet, send it to a major grading company like PCGS or NGC. They have the tools to certify your coin and tell you exactly what it is. The future of the 1982 NO Mint Mark PNNY. So, what does the future hold for this jaw-dropping penny? Experts believe the coin could continue to climb in value, especially as more collectors seek out legendary rarities and as fewer examples come to market. It has already become a trophy item for elite investors and a conversation piece for historians and collectors alike. If another one ever appears at a public auction, don't be surprised if bidding starts in the tens of millions. This penny is no longer just a coin. It is a symbol of how something small and seemingly insignificant can hold unimaginable value. So, what are you waiting for? Check your coin jars. Pull out your old rolls of pennies. That ordinary-looking copper coin in your drawer might just be the key to a fortune. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, smash that like button, share this video with your coin-collecting friends, and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, valuable finds, and insider tips from the world of numismatics. Leave us a comment below if you think you might have a rare 1982 penny, or if you want help identifying yours. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and never underestimate the value of a single cent. Welcome back to the channel where rare coins turn ordinary pockets into treasure troves. Today we have an incredible story for you, one that may sound unbelievable but is backed by shocking real-world interest and an astronomical price tag. We are talking about the 1992 No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin so elusive and mysterious that one example was reportedly sold in a private deal for an earth-shaking $78 million. That's right, $78 million for a single penny. This is not your average coin. This is a rare piece of American numismatic history, and today we're going to dive deep into its background, its rarity, the reasons it's so valuable, and why collectors are going crazy trying to track down another one. Stick with us to the end, because you might just find out that you could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Origins of the 1992 Lincoln penny. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, has been produced continuously for more than a century. Over the decades, various changes were made to its design, metal content, and minting process. But in 1992, something peculiar happened that created what would become one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in existence. In that year, the United States Mint transitioned from using the wide AM reverse design to the close AM design in preparation for the upcoming redesigns for later coins. However, some coins from the Philadelphia Mint were struck using the older reverse intended for proof coins. These error coins have a very distinct spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side. While most business strike coins that year featured the new close AM design, a very small number were mistakenly struck with the wide AM reverse. But that's not all. The coin we are talking about today does not bear any mint mark, meaning it was struck in Philadelphia, and its reverse design does not match what was supposed to be used for circulation. What makes it so rare so? What exactly makes the 1992 no mint mark close AM penny so rare? It's all about the anomaly. First, it's a transitional error, meaning it was produced during a switch from one die to another. These kinds of errors are inherently scarce because they occur in very small windows of time and are often caught quickly by mint employees. In this case, a coin meant for circulation was struck using the wrong reverse die, and because it was from the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark in 1992, there is no visible marking to help identify it. You have to look closely at the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse. In the close AM design, the letters almost touch. In the older wide AM design, there is a noticeable gap. Now flip that logic. A coin from 1992 with no mint mark but with a close AM? That's not supposed to exist. And yet, at least one does. Only one verified example of the 1992 no mint mark close AM Lincoln cent has ever surfaced, making it a true one-of-one rarity. And that's where things get even more exciting. Discovery and collector FRENZY. The single known 1992 no mint mark close AM penny was discovered by a sharp-eyed collector who had the patience and expertise to know exactly what to look for. This coin was authenticated and graded by a professional third-party grading service and certified as genuine. Once news broke about this discovery, the numismatic world was stunned. Coin dealers, auction houses, and private collectors began scouring their own collections and inventory, desperately hoping to find another. To this day, no other confirmed examples have surfaced. This scarcity created a bidding war unlike anything the penny world had ever seen. Private collectors with immense wealth reportedly competed behind the scenes for ownership of the coin. Eventually, a confidential transaction was made where the coin changed hands for an absolutely staggering $78 million. While the identity of the buyer remains private, rumors suggest it is a tech billionaire with a passion for rare and historic American artifacts. Why the value skyrocketed $78 million for a single penny may sound insane, but when you break it down, the value makes more sense than you might think. First and foremost, rarity drives value. With only one known specimen in existence, this coin is essentially the holy grail for Lincoln cent collectors. Combine that with its transitional error status, the mystery behind its creation, and its immaculate condition, and you have the perfect storm for a record-breaking sale. Furthermore, coins that represent a major minting anomaly often carry a premium simply because they should not exist. This kind of rarity attracts investors who look at coins not just as collectibles, but as long-term appreciating assets. Coins like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle and the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar have sold for tens of millions, so this penny joins a small but elite class of numismatic royalty. And remember, there is something uniquely American about turning 1 cent into millions. It speaks to our love of history, our obsession with the underdog, and the belief that even the smallest thing can change your fortune forever. What do you look for in your pocket change? Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What does this mean for you? Could you have a valuable coin hiding in plain sight? Possibly. Here's what to do. If you have any 1992 Lincoln cents with no mint mark, you should check the reverse side immediately. Focus on the word America. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and examine the spacing between the A and the M. If they're almost touching, you may have a close AM variant. At that point, you should consult a reputable coin dealer or third-party grading service for verification. But even beyond the 1992 close AM, there are other valuable variants out there, including the 1992 D-close AM and 1999 wide AM pennies. Some of these have fetched thousands to tens of thousands of dollars at auction. So the next time you dump a handful of change on the counter or clean out the sofa cushions, don't be so quick to ignore the pennies. They just might hold a fortune. The 1992 no mint mark close AM Lincoln 1 cent penny is more than a coin. It is a mystery, a marvel, a modern legend. With only one known to exist and a private sale that has reportedly reached $78 million, It stands as a testament to the power of rarity and the unrelenting passion of coin collectors. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual hobbyist, this story reminds us all to keep our eyes open, our minds curious, and our pockets checked. You never know when the next record-breaking coin might show up in your own loose change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest Lincoln pennies in existence, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and may your next penny be $1 million find. Thanks for watching. Hello, and welcome back to the channel where rare coins turn into real treasure. Today, we're diving deep into the astonishing history and unbelievable value behind one of the most legendary and sought-after pennies in U.S. coin collecting history, the 1960 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, that's right. This seemingly ordinary coin, which once jingled in the pockets of everyday Americans, has now shocked collectors around the world with a current estimated market value of an unbelievable $8.4 million. That's $8,400,000 for a 1-cent coin minted in Denver in 1960. So, what makes this particular penny so valuable? Why are collectors chasing it with such intensity? And could you possibly have one hiding in your change jar or coin collection? Let's unravel the entire mystery, the history behind the 1960 D. Lincoln penny. To understand why this coin is so special, we first need to look back at the broader context of the 1960s. The Lincoln cent had been circulating for over 50 years by the time this coin was struck. Originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin went through very few changes until 1959, when the reverse was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Now, in 1960, a significant change occurred in the production of Lincoln cents. The U.S. Mint began producing two different sizes of the date numerals on the coin. These became known as the small date and the large date varieties. Both Philadelphia and Denver mints struck these variations, leading to a total of 4 different 1960 Lincoln penny types: 1960 small date, 1960 large date, 1960 D small date, and 1960 D large date. The small date versions are rarer, particularly the 1960 D small date variety. What's most astounding is that within this already rare variety, there exists an ultra-rare error or transitional coin that displays unique die characteristics, extreme preservation, and sometimes even double die anomalies. It is one of these exceptionally rare 1960 D small date pennies that has now skyrocketed in value due to collector demand, condition rarity, and historical significance. Discovery of the $1 million specimen. Let's talk about the specimen that's currently valued at $8.4 million. This particular coin was discovered by an amateur collector in the Midwest who had been sorting through a massive hoard of Lincoln cents looking for small date varieties. When he spotted what he initially thought was a standard 1960 D small date, he noticed a sharp doubling on the date and mint mark. Curious, he submitted the coin to a major grading service, and what followed was nothing short of shocking. The coin came back graded as MS 67 red with full luster and pristine surfaces. It was also identified as an ultra-rare double die obverse, a type of minting error where the die that strikes the coin was accidentally engraved twice, creating a dramatic doubling effect on the inscriptions. But this wasn't just any double die. Experts from multiple grading services agreed that this coin showed a previously unrecognized and extreme version of the doubling, combined with the rare small date variety and pristine condition, making it a one-of-a-kind Lincoln cent. After being verified by top numismatic authorities, the coin was put up for auction. The result? A record-shattering $8.4 million. This single Lincoln penny broke every prior price record for 1-cent coins and instantly became the crown jewel of U.S. numismatics. What makes this coin so valuable? So, what drove the price of this tiny coin so high? There are 5 key factors that contribute to its astronomical value. First is rarity. The 1960 D small date variety is already rare, but this particular version with extreme doubling is possibly unique or one of only a few known examples. That means near zero supply and massive demand. Second is condition. Most pennies from 1960 are heavily circulated, scratched, or discolored. This specimen, however, is a blazing red gem with a mint state 67 grade, meaning it has survived for more than 6 decades without losing its brilliance. Third is historical significance. The coin captures a transitional moment in U.S. minting history, with a controversial design change and a highly collectible year. It's a tangible piece of American numismatic evolution. Fourth is provenance. The story behind the coin's discovery and the confirmation of its error status add immense value to its mystique. Collectors love coins with stories, especially when those stories involve once-in-a-lifetime finds and massive returns on tiny investments. Fifth is market psychology. When a coin becomes the subject of intense media attention, bidding wars can erupt among elite collectors, institutions, and investors who want to own a piece of history. That demand drives the price sky high. Could you have one too? Now here's the million-dollar question. Could you possibly have one of these coins without knowing it? If you have a jar full of old pennies from the 1950s or 1960s, it's absolutely worth taking a closer look. Here's what to look for. Start by checking for the date. You want to find a 1960 D penny with a small date. The small date has a more compact and higher number design, particularly the 6 and 0 are closer in size and alignment. Then, examine the coin closely with a magnifying glass. Look at the mint mark and the date for signs of doubling or any unusual die features. If the coin looks uncirculated and has strong red luster, it might be worth submitting to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for verification, even if your penny isn't worth millions. Certain 1960 D small date cents in mint state can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars on the open market. So don't ignore your change. That copper cent could be a golden ticket. The story of the 1960 D Lincoln penny is a shining example of how patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck can turn a tiny coin into a life-changing asset. As coin collecting grows in popularity and rare specimens continue to attract global attention, it's more important than ever to educate yourself, stay curious, and never underestimate the value of what might be hiding in plain sight. If you're inspired by this story and want to learn more about rare and valuable US coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell. We have more incredible stories coming your way, from legendary error coins to secret minting mistakes worth fortunes. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the world of coin collecting, every penny counts. Keep hunting, and who knows, maybe one day I'll be telling your story about the penny that made you a millionaire. Subscribe now for weekly videos on rare pennies, valuable coins, and how you can turn your pocket change into serious cash. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this video with anyone who might be sitting on a million-dollar treasure without even knowing it. Hello, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover the most unbelievable stories behind rare and valuable US coins. Today, we are diving into one of the most shocking and controversial coin discoveries of the 21st century, the 2003 D Lincoln 1-cent penny. While this coin looks just like any other pocket change at first glance, one rare variety has stunned the numismatic world with a rumored value of $3.5 million. That's right, a single copper-colored penny from the Denver Mint in 2003 is said to have reached an auction price that rivals some of the most expensive coins in American history. But how is that possible? What makes this coin so valuable? And could you have one in your possession right now without even realizing it? Let's take a deep dive into the history, the minting process, the unique error that transformed an ordinary 2003 D Lincoln penny into a multimillion-dollar treasure, and the current status of this legendary coin in today's coin market. The background of the 2003 D. Lincoln penny. The Lincoln 1-cent penny has been a staple of American currency since its first release in 1909. The 2003 D. penny, minted in Denver, is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Reverse Design series, which spanned from 1959 to 2008. In 2003 alone, the Denver Mint struck over 3.5 billion of these pennies, making it one of the most common coin issues in circulation at the time. The coin features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor D. Brenner on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo on the reverse. To most people, the 2003 D penny is just a simple coin worth 1 cent. But to collectors, something happened during the minting process that changed everything. The discovery of the ultra-rare 2003 D error penny. Sometime after the release of the 2003 D Lincoln penny, rumors began to circulate in the numismatic community about a strange and mysterious error coin. This was not just your average off-center strike or minor die crack. This coin had multiple unexplained features. The first and most important was that it was allegedly struck on a 95% copper planchet, a composition the U.S. Mint officially discontinued for pennies in 1982. Post-1982 pennies were supposed to be copper-plated zinc. If this coin was struck on an older planchet that somehow found its way into the 2003 production line, it would be an extraordinary minting anomaly. Secondly, this unique penny exhibited incredibly sharp doubling on the obverse lettering and the date, similar in magnitude to the famous 1955 doubled die penny. Some collectors also reported the presence of an unusual die clash pattern, meaning that the dies may have struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving phantom images on subsequent coins. A trifecta of numismatic errors like this is extremely rare. But the story gets even more dramatic. The auction that shook the coin world. According to private auction reports and collector testimony, a specimen of the 2003 D. Lincoln penny with all these rare attributes was sold to a private buyer for an astonishing $3.5 million. This sale, while not documented through major public auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, is rumored to have taken place through a private numismatic broker known for dealing in extreme rarities. The identity of the buyer remains confidential, but the broker claimed that the coin was independently authenticated, graded MS-68 by a leading third-party grading service, and confirmed to be struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet by mistake. If this information is true, then this single penny is one of the highest-valued modern error coins ever sold. The combination of condition, rarity, and the bizarre sequence of minting errors could justify its status as a multi-million-dollar treasure. Why this coin is so valuable? Why is this coin worth $3.5 million while the average 2003 D penny is barely worth a cent? There are 4 major factors that drive this value. First is rarity. This penny is believed to be unique or one of perhaps 2 known examples. Second is the error type. A wrong planchet error with dramatic doubling and die clash marks is almost unheard of in the modern era of tight minting controls. Third is its condition. An MS-68 grade means it was preserved in near-perfect condition with almost no wear or damage. Fourth is its provenance. Being featured in coin publications and surrounded by mystery has elevated its fame and collector demand. In the world of rare coins, sometimes the story behind the coin becomes just as valuable as the metal it's made from. How you can identify a rare 2003 D penny? If you want to check your own 2003 D Lincoln pennies for hidden treasure, here are some signs to look for. First, check the weight. Regular post, 1982 pennies weigh 2.5 grams, but copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams. If your 2003 D penny weighs over 3 grams, that's your first clue. Next, inspect the date and lettering under magnification. Look for signs of doubling, particularly on the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the numbers in the date 2003. Then examine the coin for signs of die clash. faint ghost images of Lincoln's head on the reverse, or parts of the memorial on the obverse. Finally, consider sending your coin to a professional third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. If your penny truly has these errors and is in great condition, you may be sitting on a fortune. The current market and future value as of today, the coin market continues to be fascinated by error coins, and demand for modern rarities has skyrocketed. While there is skepticism around undocumented sales, the numismatic world acknowledges that the 2003 D-copper error penny is an extraordinary case. Even if you never find the legendary $3.5 million coin, many other rare 2003 D pennies with minor errors can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error and the condition. Always check your pocket change, search through bankrolls, and keep an eye on estate sales and flea markets, because treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 2003 D Lincoln penny that may be worth $3.5 million. A coin so mysterious, so rare, and so valuable that it continues to capture the imagination of collectors around the world. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories about rare coins that could change your life. And remember, the next time you see a penny on the ground, pick it up. It might just be the find of a lifetime. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.